What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Tornado Tag. Myself and BP Burke, no tag rope needed, and we're gonna do something we haven't done in quite some time here on the channel. We are gonna do some pick'ems. We are going to pick our winners, and you guys can play along at home using pro wrestling scorecards. We've been a fan of this service for quite some time. You can head over to the link below in the description and play along. It's absolutely free. Once you sign up, head over to the factions tab and then join the ABJ podcast tab, and you can find out who wins tonight in their overall picks. Me and BP Burke are going to go back and forth picking who we think is going to win tonight's card. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. A few matches were cut.
To say that's a little controversial if there's only 8 matches.
Yeah, very controversial. Only 8 matches, and others were cut off the show. Maybe I'm gonna be honest. Probably two matches on this card could have been cut and replaced with title fights, in my opinion. But that's just me. You know, I understand there's name power behind some of these matches, and that's why they're there. But we'll get into that as we go on. But also, the links in the chat also as well for if you want to join us on Discord. It is in the links below. Please join us over on Discord. It's a great place to hang out. I'm always there. BP not so much. We're working on it. You know, he's not a Discord guy, but the audience is clamoring for you to be in there and hang out.
There are certain apps that make me really feel my age, and Discord is definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think you would excel in this Discord. I think I did a pretty good job setting it up. I think I've done a good job. No, Kai, we are not picking winners through marbles. I experimented with it. I don't know how to set it up and do the camera very well, so I'm not very good. But I downloaded the marbles game that we were playing last night at the Sanctuary.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Maybe it's gonna be a future stream where I just game stream, but we're only play the marble game and just have fun. It is wildly entertaining, and I can watch it for hours. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, join us on Pro Scorecards. Also, links below for all things ABJ, t-shirts, merch, Patreon. It's all there. If you want any support right now, would be greatly appreciated. Your boy's struggling. Also, links below for BP, projecthumanoid.com. You can go follow his podcast, Murder My Dude. They do a fantastic job over there, running down all things murder and dudes. And why don't you give us a little rundown on your latest episode?
Yeah, it just came out yesterday. Iceman, my dude, episode 164 of Murder, My Dude. And it has a wrestling tie-in. It is the guy who inspired the name for Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Iceman Richard Kuklinski, who claimed to be a hitman for all of the major mob families in New York and North Jersey, claimed to have killed hundreds of people as a contract killer. Maybe was telling some tall tales. We get into that on the show. But Steve Austin watched his HBO special where they interviewed him, and he basically wanted to change his gimmick from being the ringmaster, who was just a good wrestler, and that was his gimmick, into a more cold-hearted killer like the Iceman. And then they had a whole list of weather-related nicknames: Ace Dagger, Chili McFreeze, Fang McFrost. I think either Steve Austin came up with it or WWF marketing or a combination of both. And then finally, he's drinking tea, and his wife at the time was British, and she said, "Finish your tea before it gets stone cold." And boom, there's the nickname.
There it is. So I just a little bit of a test there. I did try to test out the chat bots. One is working, one is not. Story of my life. That's just how it goes for me. But we'll see. Sometimes it takes a couple tries for it to kick in, but it is working on Twitch. So all the commands are working for Twitch. So if you want to put in some commands, they will be available. Yeah, James in the chat says seems like a nice guy. Yeah, yes. There you go. Fang McFrost. What is his name?
What a name! Like what a great name that would have been. That's like when in Mick Foley's first book he talks about getting signed by WWF, and the original concept for Mankind was more of like a metal mask, almost like a Hannibal Lecter thing, and he was going to be called Mason the Mutilator, and he's like, I hate it. He even goes to Vince, I kind of hate it. And he came up with Mankind the Mutilator. And then he was like very happy that it just got dropped to Mankind. He thought that was better.
Yeah, much better. In short, you'll have to have fun, do watch-alongs of legal videos on YouTube, hang out, play games, have a good time. We'd love to have you, BP. Yeah, Discord is a good time. We do a lot of fun things in there. Possibly if there's ways, we do watch a lot of stuff in the Discord. That's all I'm going to say. And you can come hang out. There's a lot of opportunities to have a good time. We talk a little bit of everything, wrestling, video games, movies, the whole nine. We have little chat bots going on that you can play trivia or catch Pokemon. That's really popular right now in the Discord. We have a Pokemon channel that is just blowing up. People just playing Pokemon via Discord.
And a very completely 100% unrelated topic, SummerSlam is tonight. That has absolutely nothing to do with your Discord, but SummerSlam is tonight on Peacock and literally nowhere else.
Nowhere else. You cannot catch it anywhere else. But speaking of SummerSlam, BP, this year, SummerSlam in Detroit. Are you excited about this card?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff on here. SummerSlam, they usually go all out. It is kind of WrestleMania Junior, WrestleMania 2. This is actually the 35th year of SummerSlam. It's been going on that long. 1988 was the first one, the Mega Powers against the Mega Bucks. And it's come a long way. And it's really I think the big tie-in is that at that first SummerSlam in 1988, that's where the Honky Tonk Man's record-setting Intercontinental title reign ended. The Ultimate Warrior subs for Brutus Beefcake and ends it in like a 30-second squash. Where, with that being said, tonight, if Gunther can get past Drew McIntyre, then it is very, very likely that he will be usurping the Honky Tonk Man as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Right now, he is, I believe, either fourth or third. I know he just passed Randy Savage. I think he's third now, and he would very soon pass Pedro Morales, and then he would just have Honky Tonk Man to clear. Yeah,
I think it's. I mean, we'll get into it, but I think it's gonna be safe to say that record will get beat.
Yeah, I think so. And they're gonna make it like this has been a big record-setting year for Gunther. He's Roman. Had the long, Roman too, but Roman hasn't really broken a record. He did the 1,000 days as champion. Nobody's done that in forever since Hogan, but he hasn't broken a record. Bruno has the record, and if you really look at it, they're counting it as if he had both of those titles to start. He has only had the WWE title. I'm saying only, but he's only had it for about a year and a half. He didn't win it until not this past Mania, but the Mania before when he beat Brock to unify them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pushing that. But Gunther can in the same year become the person who has been in a Royal Rumble for the longest, unless you count the greatest Royal Rumble, which in that case, Danielson still has the record. And in the same year, he can also be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, which is a good way to make him a big threat, make him very serious, but also keep him out of the title mix. Because once he loses that IC title, he probably goes right in the mix for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And if that means Seth Rollins and Gunther matches, sign me up.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get kicked off here right away, BP. You take the first match of the card. According to Pro Wrestling Scorecards, this is not the official list or the official order of matches. But I'll let you take it first because you yourself are an absolute social media mogul, right? So I figured this match.
Oh yeah. This match is going to be fun. This match is going to be fun, and I wouldn't be surprised if it actually is the opener. Because you want to start it off hot, and this is going to be a very exciting match. It's going to have probably the biggest high spots, the things that you clip and you put on TikTok or put on X or you put on Facebook or Instagram in a reel. This is the match that's going to produce a lot of those. It is Ricochet against Logan Paul. It's a big day for the Paul brothers. You have, what is it? Is it Nate or Nick that Jake's fighting? I think it's Nate, right?
Nate. Yeah.
So that's today, and then Logan is going to be on SummerSlam. So it's Logan Paul and Ricochet, and it seems like this match is kind of tailor-made for a few things. And one of the things is what I just said of getting that social media attention with some really, really crazy acrobatic stuff that's going to make people's eyes bug out when they see a 10-second clip on social media or 15-second clip on social media. But in the grand scheme of things, Logan Paul kind of needs a win here.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost to Seth Rollins. He lost Money in the Bank. He lost to Roman. He lost. He acquitted himself well in the Royal Rumble, but he didn't win. The only win he really has is against The Miz. And Ricochet is going to be somebody that is at a level where a loss to somebody like Logan Paul does not hurt him. And I think that's where this goes. I'm picking Logan Paul to win by pinfall. I went with 6 aerial moves on the Pro Wrestling Scorecard. I think Ricochet performs the first one. I could see Ricochet coming out first, and then him hitting some kind of a dive on Logan Paul during Logan's entrance, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to say, I know they had KSI get involved in SummerSlam, but I'm going to say no outside interference.
Yeah. So you went, just once again to refresh here, you're going Logan Paul?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's going to be the rundown for me as well around there. I'm not going to give my exact time for aerial moves because this was your pick. But then I will take on the next match, which will be Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. What is the count right now for this rivalry?
This is their third match.
So it's 1-1? Yeah,
Cody beat Brock at Backlash, and then Brock beat Cody at Crown Jewel, I believe.
So I'm going to be honest, going into this, I have not, since moving and being in my new spot, I don't have live TV, and I don't have ways to watch pro wrestling right now because I don't have any means to watch it. So I have been really behind when it comes to Raw, SmackDown. I have been catching AEW by some ways of watching it. Join our Discord. It's a great place to hang out. But yeah, so that's pretty much the only way I've been keeping up with any wrestling is that aspect. So I don't know right now is the story that they're both 100%. Cody's not doing the arm thing. I don't know. That's what I left off. But I think I'm gonna go. I think Cody Rhodes seals the deal. I think he conquers the beast. I think he pins Brock Lesnar. Match over 15 minutes. They're talking about time constraints. I think Cody gets some time here. I think it does go over 15. The first to execute a finisher, I'm going to say the F5 is done first. I think Cody at least gets hit by 8 suplexes and disaster kicks over or under 2.5. I'm going to say over. And I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes beating Brock Lesnar here tonight.
Yeah, I'll just chime in with my finish. I have the same thing. Sometimes a good indicator on who is at least expected to win a match is if you look at the betting lines, because in the UK and Europe and other places, they have betting on wrestling. And it used to be a very good indicator because people within WWE would get the finish the day of. The finish would be posted somewhere in the back. And then somebody would get on the phone with somebody in England and they would put in a bet once they knew who was going to win. There was a guy on Twitter about 10 years ago who said he had an inside source in the WWE, and he basically would post, like, right before a match would happen, he would post who was winning the match. And he was correct. He got every match right on every pay-per-view for like 4 straight months. And then people started to figure out, like, he probably doesn't have a source inside the company. He's just looking at the betting lines because they would move when you could tell when a finish would come in because the betting line would move. And it doesn't happen so much anymore. Underdogs win all the time. Mm-hmm. But right now, Cody Rhodes is a huge favorite. He's plus 1,500. So basically, you would have to bet $1,500 on Cody Rhodes to win $100 back. And Brock Lesnar is off the board. You can't even bet on Brock Lesnar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Cody definitely gets the win here.
All right. Well, the next match up, BP, is yours, and you're gonna get a little MMA in you. We're gonna get non-octagon MMA right here.
It's a shoot, brother. It's a shoot.
This is 100% a real fight. Realistically, if these two fought,
Ronda would kill her.
Ronda's destroying her. Yeah.
Shayna's age kind of caught up with her while she was still fighting. Mm-hmm. She was still fighting, and age kind of caught up with her. Age is probably caught up to Ronda too a little bit, but I think Ronda's submission game, if they were to really fight, would give her the edge. But I think Shayna Baszler is a much, much, much better professional wrestler. I think Shayna Baszler is closer to Ronda Rousey as an MMA fighter than Ronda Rousey is to Shayna Baszler as a pro wrestler. Shayna Baszler is one of my favorites.
Yeah, and I think that's a story to tell here tonight.
And I mean, there's been a lot of talk externally that they rushed this turn where Baszler turned on Ronda because Ronda has a hard on her contract. There's been I can understand. I don't like it. I can understand if they were cutting matches, why they cut the Trish Becky match and the Rhea match, especially the Rhea match, just because I don't feel like WWE feels like they want to do and you very well could do this. Their women's division is so strong, you could do this, but they didn't want to do a half women's, half men's pay-per-view where it's 4 men's matches, 4 women's matches. Maybe they should, but then what do you cut? What men's matches do you cut? I guess you could cut them.
This right here, this is where I think WWE needs to take a little bit of a page out of AEW.
Please do not have 6-hour-long pay-per-views. I hate them.
No,
I hate them.
I'm cool with this match being a main event on Raw or SmackDown.
I think it would be okay. That would be fine if this wasn't, and I think this is exactly what this is. I think this is the last time you will see Ronda Rousey in a WWE ring.
Yeah.
I have Shayna Baszler by knockout. I have it under 10 minutes.
No way. Ronda had a mental breakdown, getting legit knocked out. She's not leaving WWE in a knockout.
It's her close friend. And it could be a knockout where Shayna gets the Kirifuda to clutch it and just Ronda passes out. It doesn't have to be a punch knockout.
So it's like almost like a submission.
Or would that? I don't know. Would that be considered a submission if she just passes out in the clutch? In that case, it might be a submission then.
Yeah, I would say.
But either way,
yeah.
Either way, Shayna wins. Take it to the bank. I'm gonna. Yeah, if that, I see that as the finish. Though, if that's considered a submission, I'm gonna make it a submission. I think Ronda is the first to lock in a submission. They'll have Shayna really look strong by escaping the armbar. And with that being said, I guess that'll put me over 2.5 finishers.
Yeah. Question in the chat, is Ronda going back to MMA?
I don't think so.
No?
I think Ronda's going to focus on her family for a little bit. She might do maybe try to get back into acting a little bit, maybe try to get into announcing MMA. Maybe she could be a commentator or personality for MMA. It's not going to be long before WWE and UFC could be a matter of months before they're under the same umbrella. They're expecting that Endeavor acquisition to close. I think the combined company is going to be TKO Media. Is going to be the TKO Brands.
Fox not picking back up SmackDown is a rumor.
Yeah. I think the exclusive negotiation windows for Fox and for USA have both passed. It's been rumored that ESPN might be a player for one of the shows. There's only so many places you can go, unless Raw and this, how crazy would this be if NBC Universal stays on but they pick up SmackDown and SmackDown goes to NBC and Raw moves to ESPN Monday nights, because now Monday Night Football is going back to ABC this season. And ABC, ESPN, same companies, but you could dominate the young adult male audience if you have Monday Night Football on ABC and Raw on ESPN. You're dominating the male audience on Monday nights.
Absolutely. For how much they've been saying Ronda's on a hard out with her contract and she has no intention of coming back, I think Papa Dana White has been in Ronda's ear. I think a lot of Ronda's bugaboos are leaving the UFC, and I think they're not issues anymore. I still think there's some people in that division that can give her a lot of problems, but I think
that's why she doesn't come back.
I think Ronda, given the right fight, comes back.
It had to be a tomato can. I think she may know like she can't compete at the level she once did, just because she's a little older, she's out of the game a long time, and the division has evolved as such.
I think they do her and Misha again.
Isn't Misha retired?
I think they're gonna get them both out of retirement and do like a super fight. I wouldn't consider it a super fight. Or the other one that I can see Ronda trying to think she can go for is Julia Pena, and I think that's a mistake.
I am so unplugged from UFC.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the last time I watched the UFC fight.
She's a problem. She took a really good fight with
Amanda Nunes.
Julia Pena.
That's like the only women's MMA fighter I know now is Amanda Nunes. And I guess she's retired, so I don't know any of them.
Yeah,
is Valentina Shevchenko still fighting? I know her.
I don't know. I'm completely unplugged from MMA to completely altogether. Yeah, it's tough. So I'm going with Shayna Baszler with the win. I'm saying submission, even though I think the submission is a sleeper hold and she goes to sleep, I would still.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to switch it up to submission too.
Yeah. All right. Now this one's a little interesting. We have a 25-person battle royal, 25-man battle royal. Only a few participants have been announced: Sheamus, Karrion Kross, Grayson Waller, Shinsuke Nakamura, Santos Escobar, Matt Riddle, AJ Styles, The Miz, Tommaso Ciampa, Chad Gable, and Otis, all announced in the battle royal. I know he's been talking about the battle royal the whole time, but is LA Knight in it?
I believe the article I read said LA Knight was in.
Yeah. If LA Knight's in, that's my pick. I feel like the guy's over, and he leaves here tonight as the battle royal winner, and that's where I'm going with. I think the first eliminated is going to be trying to think here. I
picked somebody. I picked somebody that's not officially announced in the match for that. But I feel like everybody in the mid card is going to be in there. I feel like the Viking, if Gable and Otis are going to be in there, the Viking Raiders are going to be in there. Probably the other Imperium guys besides Gunther are going to be in there. Yeah. I have my first eliminated because they seem to be doing a losing streak, like a frustration gimmick with him, as Tommaso Ciampa is who I have as the first out.
Interesting.
And everything you said is true. And I did pick. I know I'm giving away some of my card here. And that's whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. The battle royal is a little up for debate.
Yeah. Anyway. I have LA Knight for most eliminations. I have LA Knight for last eliminated. But I have Grayson Waller as the winner. They seem to be very high on him. He might even work with John Cena down the line, or The Rock. Even they might do something short with him and The Rock.
That's the rumor.
Yeah. But everything you said is true. LA Knight gets this great reaction, and when you're saying, "Oh, if LA Knight's in it, he should win it," that's exactly how I felt about Money in the Bank. That's exactly how I felt about this U.S. title tournament. It's pretty clear they don't really want to have LA Knight win stuff, and I don't understand why. He's incredibly over. He has gotten over on his own, and it doesn't matter. They still won't have him win things. So I think he's going to get very close and lose, much like Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Because you got to get heat, pal. You got to get heat. You got to have the good guys lose all the time. You can't give the crowd what they want. Remember how WWE got so popular in the 80s by always having Hulk Hogan come this close and lose?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they didn't do that. I'm sorry.
It's so nuts to me, man. Like, you have all these opportunities to strap rockets to guys, and they just don't. They don't do it.
They have to be dragged into making that call, kicking and screaming, unless it's their guy. Unless it's the worst thing, and Matt Cardona proved this bigger than anybody. The worst thing you can do in WWE is get more over than they want you to be. Yeah, they hate that. And LA Knight certainly has.
Says Bray Wyatt will return tonight and Randy Orton. He's saying 2 returns tonight.
Randy Orton, they say, and maybe this is a smokescreen, is nowhere near ready. Bray Wyatt, there's some kind of unspecified medical issue. You got to do something with Cody. Even if the plan is Cody Roman run it back at WrestleMania, you're not going to be able to tell that story for another, how long we have till Mania? 8 months? Yeah. 7 months. That's a long time to tell that story, especially even though this doesn't mean as much anymore because people jump back and forth all the time. But theoretically, Roman's on SmackDown when he's on, which isn't often, and Cody's on Raw. You got to have something for Cody to do. And I mean, would I be super jazzed about a Cody Bray Wyatt feud? No. There's only one guy who came out of a feud with Bray Wyatt more over than when he started. And they haven't pushed him either, and that's LA Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And he even struggled a little bit after that feud. It was like, what do I do? And then he just like, F it. Yeah, I agree. I don't see Bray Wyatt returning tonight.
A feud with Bray Wyatt is where being over goes to die.
Yeah.
And if you want to really cut Cody's legs off, because I thought you cut him off a little bit by not having him take it home with Mania this year, and they've been doing a fairly good job of rehabbing him, and he's still beloved. But you want to really cut Cody's knees off, have him do some crap with Bray Wyatt for 6 months, and
because if he beats Bray, the fans are gonna lose their shit.
Yeah, it'll be Roman Reigns and somebody else. It'll be Roman Reigns and like Grayson Waller at WrestleMania or somebody.
Yeah,
or Solo.
It sucks to say, but I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but it's really, really looking at super apparent that Cody Rhodes is probably going to be a back-to-back Royal Rumble winner and go on to challenge Roman.
Yeah, because that's the only way you could really. You can do whatever you want,
unless he wins Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. You could do just about anything. You could do a whole lot. You could just have him say, I want another shot at Roman. If I lose, I'll retire. I'll leave WWE and never come back. Then you could think you're telegraphing the finish at that point, but you could think you're telegraphing the finish at that point, but Roman has enough cred that you could theoretically believe it. Oh, maybe like people start squawking. Oh, maybe Cody's going back to AEW, even though he's not. But the other, I think your two favorites for the Rumble this year are the final two from this year. It's either going to be Cody, or if you're going to go Gunther winning the, or at the very least challenging for the World Heavyweight title at Mania. I could see him winning the Rumble, and then you get Cody in the main event in another way.
Yeah. It's going to be tough to say. Now, the hot take going into tonight, with the actor strike going on, and people aren't making money, is now the top time for The Rock to poke his head in. Maybe not for a match, but to poke his head in.
Would he even be able to, is the question. Like, you're making money for NBC Universal. They own Peacock. Like, does Rock's obligations with the SAG strike preclude him from even showing up? I guess not, because WWE is like a non-union shop, and likely always will be. But it would all depend on The Rock's willingness to cross the picket line. Like, people are not doing publicity for movies. If you look at how well Barbie's doing and how well Oppenheimer's doing, it doesn't seem to really matter. But it depends on your dedication to SAG, to SAG-AFTRA. Would The Rock cross a picket line to do a TV appearance? Probably.
Yeah. It's tough to call. All right. Well, speaking of Gunther, you're up, BP. You're getting the Intercontinental Championship.
Gunther and Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title. I kind of telegraphed this a little earlier by saying I do think he will eclipse the Honky Tonk Man's record, but I have Gunther by pin, 21 chops, lay him in, big chops for everybody. I have under 2.5 Claymore attempts, and yes, outside interference. I think Imperium sticks their nose in this one and gets involved. But yeah, Gunther for the win here.
I'm right on par with you for a lot of it. I'm going to say no interference though. I think Gunther beats him clean.
That could happen.
Yeah. We're going to go with the Women's WWE Championship. Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. It is hard for me to not see Charlotte Flair in a match, especially in triple threat rules. Asuka's your transitional champion here, and I think
she's been champion for a bit now, so I don't know when she won the Crown Jewel. Yeah, maybe it hasn't been too long, but yeah, she's been champion for a little bit. But go ahead.
Your story after SummerSlam tonight is going to be, I think, Bianca and Charlotte going in for a feud for a while.
Could be.
Steven Chambers. That's awesome. I love that idea. Man.
That's a good idea. I would love to see Io and Asuka.
I would love to see that. But I think the money is in Charlotte and Bianca right now.
How many times have we had a match like this where it's like, well, clearly the champion has a lot of momentum. There's so many other ways they can go. They're not gonna have Charlotte win. Oh yeah, they did, because it's Charlotte. It
It's
just
hard,
feels like one of those LOL Charlotte wins matches.
and
That's just the feeling.
that's where I'm going. I'm going LOL Charlotte moment, and and I think we get Asuka to tap out again. I think that's how we're doing it. Most time pinned, I think, is going to be Charlotte. I think she's going to struggle a little bit. Rope breaks, I'm going to go 5. Aerial moves, I'm going to also go 5. But I'm going with Charlotte. What does this take Charlotte to if she wins tonight?
I don't know, and I don't really care. I've stopped really caring about Charlotte a while ago. She's good. She's an excellent wrestler, but it's just she just doesn't have the charisma or she has the presence, but she doesn't really have what that je ne sais quoi. Like she just doesn't have that. I think she does have an it factor. She's certainly a star, but
Yeah, and she's
it's
good
just
in
like
the ring.
it's the same thing. It's she wins the title, she loses the title, she disappears for a few months, she comes back, she wins the title, she loses the title, she disappears for a few months. It's just like, okay, I've seen this so many times. It feels like a rerun.
So here, Charlotte wins. Takes her. I just looked it up. She's a 14-time champion.
Okay.
She wins tonight. Takes her to 15.
Mm-hmm.
Gets cashed in on by Mania.
Yeah, I could see her getting 16 at Mania. Yeah, they're definitely gonna have her.
That's Charlotte. I think Charlotte wins tonight. I think Io, if she doesn't cash in tonight, she can cash in. And then just play a little bit. But I think we're gonna get Charlotte regaining the championship for the 16th time this year at Mania, because Charlotte's another one contract is up in the air, and they're not really quite sure what she wants to do. I still think Charlotte. I think there's 3 names right now that you can look at in WWE when their contracts are up. I don't know if they're gonna stay in the WWE. I think Charlotte's one of them. I think Kevin Owens is going to be another one. He's talking a lot about his contract coming up in a year and a half.
But everybody was convinced last time he was convinced last time he was leaving. All his friends, especially when Adam Cole went over there, all his friends are there. He has such good friends with the Young Bucks, and it was like, nope.
Money at him.
And then they said, "Hey,
you want Stone Cold?
How would you feel about wrestling Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania?" And he said, "Where do I sign?"
Yeah, where do I sign? And I think Bayley. Okay. I think Bayley's been traveling a lot and seeing what Sasha and Naomi have been doing, and she's like, I kind of want to see what it's like out there for a bit.
And Sasha and Naomi really, I mean, Japan was always Sasha's dream, and unfortunately, and it seemed like she was doing what she was loving what she was doing until the injury, but I don't see Bayley coming to the Impact Zone, and I'm not trying to diminish Impact. I'm not trying Impact. I haven't really watched it lately, but I understand they have a great product right now. They have a product that is very unique and that they have put their own signature feel to. But I don't think there's many people saying, I can't wait until my contract with WWE is up so I can go to Impact.
Yeah, I don't see her going to Impact. Honestly, I seen Naomi going to Impact. When people talk about where Naomi's going, I think it's pretty clear that she was going to go to Impact. I think that was like a good landing spot for her. But yeah, well, let's get into our next match, and which will probably be the co-main event at some point tonight. Seth frickin' Rollins versus Finn Balor for the WWE, the World Heavyweight Championship. I think I broke my stream. Shit. BP, I have to step out and come back in. You can keep talking. They're saying they can't hear you. I thought it was me. That's why I left, because I hit mute. I hit mute by accident, and now they're saying they can't hear you. All right. Thank you guys in the chat, because I was losing my mind. I'm bouncing in and out of my browser like I think I broke something. Can you guys hear me? Technical difficulties here on the tornado tag here. Give me some type of indication in the chat if you guys can hear me. BP? Yeah, we still can't hear you, BP. They can hear me, but not you. I thought it was me, because I was scrolling through my top screens and I hit mute channel, and when I was messing around, I thought I did something wrong. And then when people started topping, when I left and came back in, I seen people saying can't hear you. Try to power off your board and come back in. Like power off your board and come back in, or just check your settings and see if your audio settings. He's already gone. That scared the shit out of me. All right, so I can't hear the picks. I'll give him a moment here. I'll kill some time. But hey, I thank you guys so much for joining in here. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. I hate normally talking about TV wrestling, but if people are into it, maybe I'll start doing more of it and doing more of a weekly recap of what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. The problem is I have to find out a way to make some money so I can get live TV back, either if it's Hulu or something. But the best way you could help me do that is join the Patreon. I'm not pulling no punches. I'm not lying. Your boy is unemployed and I'm scraping by. The only reason this podcast is alive and I'm getting StreamYard done is because I'm being sponsored by Suplex Vintage Wrestling. And they're helping me out tremendously to keep the podcast alive and help me make content. But I'm in a transitional period. I'm trying to find work. I'm trying to get things done. I have a car I can't. And I live in a spot where I have to drive everywhere and everything's 25, 30 minutes away. So I am in a rough spot right now. So anything you guys can do, the Patreon is a monthly donation. You can do $5, $1, whatever works. And if I make a couple bucks to do that, I will gladly get live TV back. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I maybe I will bring back watch-alongs or stuff like that, but it's hard right now. It's not easy to keep going with certain things, but there's a lot of content I want to do, but I'm just not able to. Let's try BP out here. Nope. Jesus. Check your settings in StreamYard. See if that's something going on there. Your audio settings. But nope, nothing yet. No. Maybe your mic finally took a shit. Try taking your mic out of the mic and plug the one that Jack was using. Like swap the mics just to see if the cable. Yeah, I can't hear you, bud. Use your laptop microphone just for now. Oh, you are? Yeah, I don't hear you. Might have to restart the PC. Don't think I can think of. Yeah, unplug. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? I think he's frozen, so he might be restarting. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now when it comes to content. Just like I said, I have a lot of ideas and things I want to do. I just can't. The podcast has been going strong. We have a lot of guests coming up. But yeah, so I'll kind of make my pick here. This is the part of the card where he's still frozen. Where this is probably what's going to make or break it for me. I think the easy pick and the safe pick is going Seth Rollins for the win here tonight. But this is where I think Finn Balor wins. And I think Finn Balor wins by pin. I think I'm giving him 22 minutes. I'm going to go 5 near falls. Curb stomp attempts or double stomps over or under 4.5. I'm going to say under there. I think there is Judgment Day interference. But I think I'm going to go with here. I think we have another opportunity for a cash in. And I think Finn Balor gets cashed in on by his own dude. I think he wins and he's beat the hell up. And I think he's cashed in on by Damian Priest. And I think if Damian Priest maybe defects from the Judgment Day here tonight. I think Judgment Day as a team right now is doing really well, but I think Damian Priest is that guy that maybe they're going to try.
So I'm on my phone. Let's see how this works.
I can hear you. I can hear you now. We can
Yeah.
get by with this.
Yeah, I'm on my phone for the last couple of minutes here.
Yeah. Well, let's go do your pick here again. I was kind of giving mine for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who do you have?
Yes. So for me, it's I think Seth Rollins retains. The real question is going to be whether or not Damian Priest then cashes in his Money in the Bank following the match. I think it's going to be one of those vindication things. They're the one of the stories, at least, that they're trying to tell here is the whole thing with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins having the first ever Universal Championship match at SummerSlam. And Seth Rollins got the win there, or Finn Balor rather got the win there, but suffered the injury that prevents him from becoming anything more than a one-day champion with that Universal title. I think Seth retains here, but could see a cash in. I could definitely see a cash in here. I think I'm surprised that wasn't on the scorecard. Like, will Damian Priest cash in?
So I was saying when you were away, I think Finn Balor wins tonight.
Oh.
I think Seth Rollins pays Finn Balor back for the injury. I think he says, "Hey man, you never really had a chance to shine with this title. I think you're a person that can carry on this storyline. I think the Judgment Day's hot right now. I think there's things that Seth Rollins can do from now till Mania and still be relevant and still be a huge thing. Here you go. Yeah, an injury spot. Maybe Seth does an injury halfway through the match. I don't think the cash-in happens tonight. I think the cash-in happens, but I think Finn Balor is the one who is cashed in on by Damian Priest at some point down the line.
That could work too.
I think it tells a story. I think right now Dominic and Mommy are over as Grover when it comes to and I think Damian Priest is someone who, if he defects from the Judgment Day, I think he's going to stand on his own and be able to do some things. And I think Finn Balor's kind of in that presence, but I think Finn Balor leaves here as the champion, and he gets a little bit of a run that he never actually had an opportunity to do so. And Seth seems like the guy to be like, this has been yours for a while.
Well, I don't really think that's Seth's call to make. I'm sure Rollins would be fine with it. I'm sure he would be very open to anybody. Like, if they said, "Oh, you're losing the title to the Miz," you're like, "Okay, yeah, I'm losing the title to the Miz."
I think Damian helps Finn Balor win the title tonight.
That could happen.
And then that's the tease, is like, well, you wouldn't even be champion if it wasn't for me. And like, I should be able to cash in whenever I want. You know what I mean? I think that's the storytelling from here on out.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that's. I like that idea. I just don't know if. I think it's the perception, and I know the perception within WWE is right. I'm fairly sure of. I don't know, but the perception of WWE is that Seth is kind of, even though Roman's the guy, that Seth and Cody is your babyface one, that Seth is kind of your ace. Seth is your guy that, no matter what, you can put him in there. He's going to have a great match. He's going to work with anybody, make anybody look better. And I think that they feel at this point that that title is still fighting for legitimacy. It's still in a lot of people's minds the quote unquote consolation prize.
Hope we lost you. Is there a mute button you hit? What is happening right now? Let me try to log back in. Oh, I hear you. It sounds like you're like covering your microphone with your finger.
Maybe I was. The mic it might be down there. Okay.
You're good. I hear you again.
I'll move my finger then. I think that's what happened. Scared the hell out of me. But
Bray Wyatt confirmed.
It's definitely Bray Wyatt. He heard what I said about him. But I think that I don't know how to orient this phone either. I think that they still might have that perception that it's not that they don't really like Finn or they don't trust Finn or anything like that, but the feeling I think might be that the belt still needs Rollins. Not so much Rollins doesn't need the belt, but I think the feeling might be that the belt needs Rollins.
I see that as well. Yeah, it's that. This is honestly the match I'm looking more forward to the most on the entire.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Seth is probably my I think my opinion, one of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
All right, well, we're both gonna go over this one, but I'll go first with my picks. We have the tribal
combat. Tribal combat, yes.
It's always trials and shit going on. I think it's crazy to think Jey Uso wins tonight. That's just me. I think Roman Reigns pins. Actually, I can see. Yeah, I'll go pin. I think the submission era of Roman's over.
That's my thought.
I think Jay though has the most near falls.
Yeah.
Weapons used. I'm gonna go 6. Announce table destroyed. Yes.
Of course.
Does Solo turn on Romans tonight?
No,
I don't think so either.
I think that might be your Royal Rumble main event.
Yeah.
Roman and Solo, but if it is gonna be Cody and Roman running it back at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, I think you're going to have to get a lot more mileage out of this bloodline thing. Where if Solo turns on Roman and Jay wins the title, the bloodline's done. Unless you think it's going to be like, and if you don't think Roman Reigns is going to be in the, unless he's retiring and we don't know it, if you don't think Roman Reigns is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, think again.
Yeah,
it's Roman Reigns. Unless he is just completely stepping away from wrestling, he's going to be in that mix. Find someone who loves you the way they love Roman Reigns, because as long as he's around, he's going to be in that Cena spot where unless he steps back, he's going to be the guy.
The people in the chat, Rock tonight, hear me out. Rikishi shows up. I mean, if you're going to extend the bloodline right now, this is how you do it. I mean, whether it be The Rock, whether it be Rikishi, whether it be a new member of the bloodline showing up, something along those lines. Right now, I mean, the bloodline is in chaos, and there's got to be some type of either fixing it or falls apart. And I don't see falling apart still being a thing because they still have a ways to go. But I mean, like I said, if The Rock is always in that back pocket, they could always pull that out and not have it for Mania.
Or can they? I don't know if The Rock ever wrestles a real match again.
I don't know if it's a wrestling thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's super weird. I don't know how it goes. I would have bet my life on it before Rock shows up. I would have bet my life on that Cody won at Mania. So this storyline's all over the place. I definitely think the storyline is losing steam, and they need something big to pick it back up. And I don't think Jey Uso beating Roman is the thing that
I think we're getting exactly what we get every time Roman's in a main event. Someone cheats, helps them win, and you're like, oh, that's what they're doing? Really? They're just doing that?
Yep.
Same old stuff, a different day of the week.
I totally agree, and I think it's getting super stale. I think they got to figure something out. And even for me, I think Rikishi showing up, I mean, it might be a cool little spot or bump, but it's not enough. It's really not enough. Unless Rikishi's the one who tells Solo, like, yo, it's your brothers. You're going over him over your brother. But even if Solo helps, I still don't think Roman wins tonight. I don't think Jey Uso is that guy to be the one to dethrone Roman.
Yeah, I do not see Roman losing.
Here's a question for you. They changed the titles, right? The titles are both unified to look the same for the men and the women's. You know, I think definitely the world titles over on the other brand look a lot better. It's that big gold replica almost with a new twist to it. Cody's always rumored if he were to bring the title back, he wants to bring the title back that his dad never won. I thought one brand was getting a big gold, and I thought the other brand was we have an emo spam. Someone tried to put too many emotes in the chat. I don't know. Nightbot caught you with a warning. No idea. It doesn't even say. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, but yeah, I think I can see Cody winning that title and then changing the branding of it and making it look like a new version of the Winged Eagle.
The old Hogan. He did the same thing when he won the Intercontinental title. They brought back classic.
The question is does the women title stay looking the same if they're trying to make them universally look this? You know what I mean?
Probably. I don't think there's that women's title.
Women's Winged Eagle.
That would be interesting.
Give that to me.
But with Cody, that might even be. We have to see if that even happens. But then it would also be that might just be the Cody belt. That just might be the Cody belt. Where, for instance, that black and gold belt might just be the Roman belt. It might just.
That's what I'm thinking. It seems like the Roman belt. That's his black and gold belt to like to say that's his longest reigning. I can see Gunther, the title changer from Gunther when he takes over, when that title changes and they give a new look. But anything's possible, man. But I think SummerSlam tonight's going to be a lot of fun. The question for you, BP, is: are you going to Pilgrim? Or are you staying at home to watch it?
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if Pilgrim is even showing it. I think they've gotten away from the pay-per-views. I might
I think I'm staying home. I don't have the I have some money, but every dime I'm saving from here till the end of the month for UK. So any dime I make, I'm literally just like, do I eat or do I just wait till I get home and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich so I can save that for UK? So that's kind of where I'm at. I will not be going out tonight. I'll be staying in, hanging out in the Discord. Whether we might be just watching it in at home and just hanging out in the Discord and the voice chat and talking to each other and just kind of keeping each other company. That is a possibility. So if you are bored and you don't want to watch it alone, come hang out with us in the Discord and join the voice chat and just come hang out with us and talk wrestling and have some fun. We have a lot going on tonight. SummerSlam is on, Collision is on, and oh
yeah, Punk and Ricky Starks tonight.
Yeah, and if you're into boxing, Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul is also happening tonight. So a lot is going on. Real quick before we get out of here, BP, what do you think of this the new Collision?
I love it. It's probably
my feel of it.
It's probably my favorite weekly wrestling show. Mm-hmm. Not probably, I think it is. I like the flow of it. I like the emphasis on wrestling. The emphasis on getting a lot of people on the show. Some of the matches are shorter; they don't have to be 20 minutes. Yeah, I think it's a very good mix of talking and wrestling. So yeah, it's definitely something that feels more like the wrestling I grew up with than Raw or SmackDown or even Dynamite does now.
Yeah, you know what's insane too? If you look even Collision's logo.
Oh, it looks it's a Nitro ripoff.
Yeah, but it's a logo. It's something that significant. Like it's like, oh, that's the show. That is, it says that like AEW's Dynamite is literally just all Elite Wrestling, and underneath it says Dynamite. Like there's nothing that makes like Raw has a Raw logo, SmackDown has a logo, like every show had a logo. That's the only thing for me, as someone who has a million logos, and I'm trying to nudge Dynamite to make something. But like Collision is the first time it feels like it's like Dark was just AEW logo Dark.
Yeah,
elevation, like it I don't know, I like it, and I definitely think the people who are right in the ship over there, hate them or love them, I think they're putting together a good product.
Yeah, no, Collision has been something I try to make a point to watch. Like as far as I do watch Dynamite pretty much every week. I do try to watch Raw just because it's Raw. It's the comfort show. It's the show I've been watching for 30 years. So like, yeah, it's Raw. How can I not watch Raw? But there's sometimes like, why am I watching this? Yeah, I never really feel that way about watching Collision.
Yeah. Well, depending on if we could fix your microphone situation, we may or may not be going live tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, we'll play it by ear with the mic, and the mic seemed to be working. I don't know what happened there. The levels are picking up and everything. It wasn't like not
maybe the USB or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll test it out a little later. If we were to go live tomorrow, BP, what do you got cooked up for us?
I've been rewatching because of the Dark Side of the Ring Bash at the Beach 2000 with the infamous Jeff Jarrett and Hulk Hogan schmaz, Vince Russo going into the business for himself. It was a big aspect of Dark Side of the Ring. So yeah, whether it's tomorrow, whatever day it might be, that might be the next thing to do.
Well, here's my take. That's something I would kind of want to have time to watch, process it. I would like to go back and listen to some other podcasts about it, maybe get some more insight that we can talk about. Like, I know we're rehashing it, but things that we've studied or researched about the thing to talk about. That might be, I'm interested in that. I definitely want to do it before the end of the summer. So maybe we push that off a week, and then tomorrow we can do like the history. Like we never did the Superstar Billy Graham, and we never did like Sheik's out there.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do that tomorrow. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Okay, yeah, we'll leave it up in the air for now.
Yeah, but we might be live tomorrow with Tornado Tag. Also, I was kind of taken off guard a little bit. I had some people buy some merchandise off me, which is super appreciative. So if you bought a t-shirt, thank you. Helps out more than you know, even though the profits are not huge, but anything's better than nothing. And then I get an alert that I sold 2 more t-shirts. And I was like, why is it coming to this email? And then I look at what shirts were bought, and I was like, Bangin' Beers podcast shirts.
Oh, wow, retro.
And I was like, okay. And then I look, I'm like, holy shit, the IWEP network TeePublic is still up and active.
Oh, okay. Well,
so someone went back and bought older t-shirts from older content. Which is, here's the crazy part. Unless they followed the TeePublic page and they have it bookmarked, I don't have it out for people to go look and find that link.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No idea how they found it. So I said, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, on the link tree, if you go to my link tree and scroll all the way down to the it says old content IWEP network, there's an IWEP thing, and I put links to the new ABJ stuff, and I put the IWEP merch in there. So if you're curious of what older logos and stuff look like, I have Skookstock logo on there still. I forgot that was a thing. I have all the old interviews with everyday people, all the old tornado tags from the original logo all the way down to the like the Andy Header, JC Storm main event logos are all there. Our tornado tag WrestleMania logos there, which is a cool one. Bangin' Beers are all there. There's a lot of cool t-shirts. So if you're interested in some of that older designs, they're all there. The only ones that are not up, and it's no shade, it's no thing, but I didn't put any logos up of former casts. Like,
right.
I didn't put the logo up of you as Vader, me as Macho Man, and Andy up. I don't want to make, like, Andy's logo was something I did because he agreed, like the rest of the wrestlers, to put up.
Right.
But I don't want to make profits off of people's likeness that are no longer part of the content, and I just don't want any drama or shade. So those logos are not up. I like the Truth Behind Illusion. I put my devil face up because it's mine, but I didn't put everybody else's things up.
Right.
If they're comfortable with it, I'll put it there. But besides that, everybody else's stuff is taken down. If those people want their logos and merch to buy stuff on their own, they can have them. Hit me up if you watch. I doubt you're watching. But yeah, that's all there. But that's all I got, BP. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Well, we talked about Murder My Dude earlier. Wrestling-wise, Sanctuary was last night. You and I were calling the action for Proving Grounds, Parade of Champions. If you go to Sanctuary PATV on YouTube, the archive will be available now. And then next weekend, I will be at PPW, where they're going to be having, but I believe this one's called Badlands. It's actually their last show before their 10th anniversary show in September. And one of the things I love about this particular card is the only person you would consider like a name outside of PPW would be Leva Bates, who is actually their reigning women's champion and is defending the title next Saturday against Zeta Steel. But it is the talent that has been there month in, month out. The Bro Kellers of the world, Facade, South Philly's finest, Andy Header, the people who are PPW regulars are the ones that are carrying this card. Clutch Adams, who I know is going to be on the show soon, I believe. Or did I just spoil something?
I'm not in the loop. I have no idea.
I'm trying to, you're not on the loop on who's on your own show. But no, like the homegrown talent.
He's coming on the podcast, but
okay, I didn't know if you would.
We haven't locked a date, and it's not this.
I was gonna say I didn't know if you would formally announce it. I thought I let the cat out of the bag on something.
No. Next week, Monday's gonna be Sarah and Rain. Tuesday's gonna be Wade Kruger of the Stepdads. And then Thursday's gonna be Big Dan Champion. Big Dan
will actually not be at PPW this weekend. He's suspended because he's a bad man.
Oh boy,
he's a bad man who beat somebody up. And
thanks, Kai, saying we killed on commentary time. He goes, I may be biased, but you're all my favorite commentary team. That means a lot. I feel we have a good chemistry together.
Certainly. But yeah, Big Dan not going to be there on Saturday, but he is currently one half of the PPW Tag Team Champions. Love Big Dan Champion.
Good guy. I hope to drink a beer with him on camera and talk about his life. Anything else, bud?
Murder My Dude we brought up earlier, but new episode out. You can look that up wherever you get podcasts, and that's all I really have.
Awesome. And I did fix stream elements midway through the stream. So the Discord links are up there. The stream element bot is doing its thing. And we will see you guys next time. Actually, real quick before I get out, I think I have to do something real quick on my channel when it comes to Twitch to make Maybe I already did it. I don't know. All right, whatever. I'll figure it out. I think I had to make Stream Elements a mod for it to do its thing, but BP's gone anyway. It's fine. See you guys next time.